Ice on my wrist, it was wall, cause I ain't got time with you.
No introduction really necessary. Get to messing like a secretary. Boy, I'm legendary. When I'm dead and buried, still be kicking flavor in the cemetery. Trap music originator. Fresh off of my hiatus. Yelling you to all my haters. They skywalk, I'm Darth Vader. Promise I don't give a about them. Let them out to anywhere. Tell them they don't need none. Yep, like and the can't go enter. New Cadillac with an all-go hammer.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now Jackson on first down, eluding the pressure right. And they didn't wait long to take a shot there, that's for sure, but it falls incomplete, and it's second down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On the right side, this is Miller. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on the Thursday night, guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney. Now let's go.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
No, check, Patriot. Over.
Now Jackson on second down, escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 44 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a broken tackle could not free him. Taken down right at the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. This is Cohen. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the gun, Jackson buying time to his left. He may try and run for this. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down and inside the 5-yard line.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Flush to it, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Shaquille Barrett. In from his linebacker's spot, he's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Jackson. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They'll give him a dozen on the pitch and catch, but now they're up against a 3rd and goal. This opening drive has taken them to the 2, but now they come up on a 3rd and goal. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
To throw from his end zone. Goodman. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20. A good pickup there, a 22.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route. and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football. To throw on second down. Goodman. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Throwing on first down. Goodman. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be a second down. Operating from the gun. Goodman. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, a 22. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. 1st and 10 right at the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. From the gun, Goodman. This one complete to Coleman. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And McManus able to put it through. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. Well, they started that drive all the way back at the 1, able to march down, get 3.
It was daunting to begin with, wasn't it? But I thought overall, a very poised and efficient drive to get 3 points.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Yeah, simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Now Jackson got his man complete over the middle. That's Gordon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Throw left side complete. It's Gordon. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. From midfield now, here's Jackson. Open receiver, that's David Njoku. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Jackson on first down. Flushed out right. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. On 2nd down, here's Jackson. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. This quarterback now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. They'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll make it 2nd down. On 2nd down, Jackson eluding the pressure right. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And he pushed it. Pushed it from short distance, wide right. It's no good. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And now running right through it. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Back to throw. Goodman finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
That'll be caught right side by Hamilton. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Here's Marquette King now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make it second down. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Now Jackson to throw on second down. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Jackson now. From the gun, he'll throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 4 yards on the pickup, and just like that, it's third down.
Leopard! Leopard! Gun! 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 Gun!
Here's Jackson, operating from the gun. And that is incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on fourth down.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Now
Green,
whistles
39.
come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Here's Sam Cook now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And coming out now, the Broncos. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Throwing to start the drive. Goodman. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Complete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Leopard! Leopard!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And shutting him off now open field. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. On 1st and 10, Goodman. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Operating from the gun. Goodman. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Jabal Sheard. In there to drop him. And it'll be a loss of about 8. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down. But to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. Here's Marquette King now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And taken right at the 35. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Jackson to throw again. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. From the gun, Jackson going up top for Miller. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Scoring has really been at a premium. And, Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense, too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
Throwing to start the drive. Goodman. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended target was Corey Coleman. And now it's 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
6 yards on the pickup, and it's a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Dancing to it, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he's going to go down again. Von Miller. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, that's 2 sacks in this game, so add that to the 4 from last week. I think that's 6.
Good math. Excellent math. And look, he's going to get all the attention. He deserves it. He got home and got the quarterback on the ground. But that's a concentrated team effort because you got a lot of guys who occupy blockers to allow him access to rush the passer.
Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Goodman. He's going to loft one. Deep left side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A huge play there for Denver. 46 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off the play fake. Goodman. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Deshaun Hamilton, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. That's complete. It's Gordon. There he goes, right side. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Josh Gordon, his 1st touchdown here in the new campaign. And the Ravens have cut it to within a score. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Off play action. Goodman. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Ravens. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
They'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
And they'll run it here. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Set! 3-19! 3-19! No.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Call it a gain of 11 yards, and that should just about do it.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Gone! 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 Gone!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. Now McManus for the extra point. McManus's point after is good, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle.
Big for the cheese and you're dead wrong. Propaganda
set the standards in the tear down.
Throw it back, yeah, I'm born to. It's dark, it's hot, so leave me where I'm at. I'm living how I want now, no reason to doubt. It's clear to see, all eyes on me, 400 degrees. Who am I? Ruthless, easy does it. In public, hated or love it. With liquor swabs, it was written in my diary, the start of war. I'm feeling infamous, immortal with my technique. A revolutionary shining with diamond teeth. Young Don Cartagena, excuse my demeanor. This the glamour life, you still not a player, you ain't half as nice. I'm born again, life after death. I made the sacrifice, I'm super duper fly. Juicy, keep them hypnotized. I said my name is Juice, America's most. Ain't no half stepping, see you at the crossroads.
Money over on my head stop. Here lies them getting paid for never take